Welcome back to Twisted Metal Black. It's been a very long time since I played this game. I thought it'd be fun to jump back in, just have a nice casual playthrough. The last time I played it was more for a speed run, which is urgent, frantic, and frankly stressful. So this time I just want to kick back, have a little fun with our friend, Jonathan Doe. Now the obligatory thing about playing with Roadkill is I have to say, oh, the best part about playing as Roadkill is you don't have to play against Roadkill. Which I guess is true, because AI Roadkill is absurd without his special weapon. He can charge it up pretty much instantly and never misses or overcharges it, so you end up losing half your health in, mere seconds of loading into a map, which is pretty frustrating. Other AIs can't really do it to that extent. Of course, Mr. Grimm has his Scythe and, Sweet Tooth and all that. They all have very powerful specials that they abuse. And I'm very out of practice with this game, and so it might be a bit of a struggle bus to start this first level. But I hope that by the time I get to, I don't know, downtown or so, I'd kind of get back into the swing of it. Now, I think when it comes to his special weapon, charging it up all the way is not always beneficial, just because the timing might be off, and you don't get that much of a benefit from a full charge versus like a, I don't know, half chub, 80% charge. So I'm not going to be too caught up in trying to get a perfect full charge. And I guess Crazy 8's content with just sitting there as I hit him with machine guns, which are low-key pretty damn powerful in this game. Whereas I feel like in Twisted Metal 3 and 4, you might as well be using fucking Nerf darts. I really gotta stop doing that. See, I have this problem where I tend to freeze them to try to get the most out of a skill-based weapon. And when they're frozen, they actually take less damage, which I didn't know that for a long time until I tried to speedrun the game. And then I found out very quickly that when you're trying to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible, it helps when they're, not taking half damage because they're frozen. So I've learned since to stop using it so much, but because I'm so out of practice, there's this reflex in my mind that's like, I gotta stop these guys from moving. And that's how I get them to take all my damage. It wasn't a full charge, but hey, good enough. So this should kill Sweet Tooth, should I get a full charge from it. There we go, perfect. So yeah, if you don't freeze them, turns out much better results. That's the risk-reward of Twisted Metal. It's what it's known for. It's what it's built on. It's what David Jaffe wanted. They're kind of ganging up on me here. Not a big fan of that. Okay. First death of the run, but I killed 3 opponents before I died, so I consider that, in the war of attrition, a major victory. They may have won the battle, but the war shall be mine. Got sons of bitches. Oh yeah, that was a good chunk of health gone right there. Probably just finish him off if we just want to do this little dance. Okay, I'll take a ram. So I tend to gravitate towards Twisted Metal Black just because it's a world that I find myself fascinated by. Just not only in terms of aesthetics, but just the story and the texture of it. Just the atmosphere that it produces. I think that you could have a game that's, the best game of all time, like gameplay-wise, like the actual moment-to-moment visceral feeling of playing a game. It could be second to none, but if you don't have characters or a world or environment that's worthy of your attention or care, then it's a hard sell for that game. And so for me, when it comes to like Twisted Metal 3 or 4, like the game itself to me struggles to produce that feeling of awe or wonder or just thought-provoking imagery. Or just really anything worth thinking about. Besides the dumb meme stuff that everyone talks about. That was a waste of my special. But with Twisted Metal Black, I feel like in addition to it being a pretty damn good game, let's go Freeway. In addition to it being a pretty damn good game, it feels like they tried to build something out that's worth your time and attention of thinking about. And whether it's intentional or otherwise, I mean, obviously it tries to tell a good story, but I think as far as the world being, more deep or interesting than it really is, I think the whole Minion backstory with, you know, he's Marcus Kane, the split personality of Sweet Tooth. The whole game takes place within, you know, the evil clown's mind. Kind of silly, but just having that context for what's going on in the game just invites you to think about it in a way that you don't about Twisted Metal 2 or Twisted Metal 3 or Head On or anything like that. Like, it has the impression of something going on, which is really all you need. I think, you know, some games need to, you know, meticulously lay out every single detail of the universe in order for you to care about it. But I think this game, I guess that barrier isn't as high for this game for you to care about it. Because it's just a car combat game at the end of the day, but, you know, you just get that little extra step of world and atmosphere, and there you go, you're off to the races. But I like to think about the dumb shit, right? Because if the whole game takes place within Sweet Tooth's head, you know, that means everything should have some meaning within that person's mind. You know, for instance, why is this map, and we can get pretty granular with this in really stupid ways. For instance, you know, the fact that when you get close to these, you know, freeway barriers or whatever that they shoot up, you know, and it's right below a hospital. The biggest building on this map is a hospital. You know, so taking that in the context of Sweet Tooth's mind, you know, could make someone think like, okay, why is the hospital so significant for this person? And why do they feel like, you know, the area just beyond this hospital is completely inaccessible? Right, which would invite the thought that, okay, maybe Sweet Tooth was raised in a psych ward, in an asylum. You know, which that imagery bears true with Blackfield Asylum, with Twisted Metal 2, you know, where he says he was born in like a state hospital or whatever. It probably means nothing. I mean, like 99% sure it means absolutely nothing, but the game invites you to have, you know, those thoughts, which I think is just interesting. Yeah, I think the interpretation of art is just as important as the intention of the art, within reason. You know, that maybe there's some unconscious effort to try to build out this world that they knew perhaps was part of Sweet Tooth's mind, and what that would mean, you know, for the world. So it might not have been like a fully intentional effort, but nonetheless, it is what it is. The game came out the way it came. However, I don't know why Sweet Tooth, you know, his special is exceedingly powerful in this game, but the recharge is so low. Which, look, if I'm Sweet Tooth, the game takes place in my mind, like in the universe of my head. I'm gonna make myself overpowered and like ridiculous in every possible way. Now, being a sweet bot does help in that way, but the cooldown for his special, man, like, what are you doing? You have full control. This is your world. To make that cooldown, like, cut it in half, bro. Become a god. Game balancing be damned. Just become a god. Alright, down to 5 opponents. I tend to hang out by the stadium for some reason. I think the weapon variety is pretty low and not great. But there is this health bridge, which helps out a lot. Probably take this guy out. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know what I mean? Yeah, Warhawk as an AI, underrated as a opponent. Like, he just has such good mobility and agility, which does, you know, it does express itself when you're using him, because, like, you just feel, compared to, like, Manslaughter, how agile Warhawk really is. But in the hands of an AI whose controls are just bonkers, like how well they can control their vehicle. And I forgot this fucking ambulance does damage to you. There's been a handful of times where I played this game where I'm, like, close to death, I'm approaching, you know, the health bridge here, and the fucking ambulance just takes me out. Just completely wipes me off the map. Utter annihilation. The parking lot is a good place to gather a couple weapons. Not great, but there's a few that are decent. There he goes. I could probably finish off Sweet Tooth with just a little dink and dunk. Perfect. I think Brimstone, I did some damage to him, but I think I failed to get off a full banger. A full go of my special. And one thing I learned speedrunning as well is people in the speedrunning Discord shared all the secret health locations within all the maps. Now, I think most people knew about the one on this level on Freeway, where if you go down to this, you know, emergency door, you get close to it and you jump, there you go, and you jump, you get like maybe a third of your health back. There should be a second one on this map. I'm just not entirely certain where it is. But every map seems to have one except for the abandoned skyscrapers. And I'll do my best to kind of show off where those are on the various maps, but I have to also remember where they are, which I don't. You know, for snowy roads, I'm pretty sure I can find it. The next map, downtown, I think I know where it is. It's like in the elevator area. So I'll do my best to scope those out. Show the people where they're at. There we go, nice. Yeah, he was at half health, and one full use of my special just completely dissolves his health. Gone. Let's do downtown. It's a more forgiving map because on medium difficulty, on highway loop, you only get one use of the health bridge, whereas on downtown, you get both, which is pretty strange. I don't know why it's like that for that one map. I'm not sure if that was like a conscious balancing decision or if that was more intentional, or that was just something that got overlooked during production. That maybe like on hard difficult, I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I'm not David Jaffe, the all-knowing, omniscient God that is David Jaffe. I'm not him. And only he knows. And I doubt he'll tell me why. What I do know is that when it comes to these maps, this downtown is usually more forgiving. But I tend to do highway loop on speed runs because there is the bridge on that map, so there's a bottomless pit that if you get lucky and or you just have the skill, you can coerce these opponents to falling into their death. And it's pretty funny when they do it, because the AI, I think, is pretty advanced for the time, but they do have shortcomings, and they do have flaws, which get, you can exploit them on that map. If you drive towards the bridge and stop, they don't know what to do. Sometimes that they're driving towards the bridge at the same time, and so they end up just falling in very slowly. Like, if it's a human character, like, I don't think it would ever happen that way, but just the AI just does not know what's going on. It's hilarious. And it's a good way to waste a special. Thank you, Outlaw. Roadkill, to me, as far as like the cars go in this game, we're not talking like big, heavy armor vehicles. Roadkill seems like the best balanced one, or at least the most beginner-friendly. Like, sure, it's a skill-based weapon as a special, but it's one that's pretty easy to use. You just have to hold the button down until it charges up. It's very simple. We got a couple opponents that are pretty low on health. I can hopefully finish some of them off, at least one of them, before I bounce it. Nice bank shot. Good shit. I feel like the Doll Mask, who was famous for their bank shot bonuses. That was nice. I felt good about that one. Alright, that wasn't a full charge, but it was damn close to it. And there's his health gone. Yeah, the skill-based weapons, if you get the full go, it's devastating to these opponents, especially ones that don't have, you know, ridiculous armor. Like our friend Warhawk over here. But really everyone that's in front of me right now has a lot of health. The Zumi, I think people don't tend to like the Zumi. I like it because it's just easy to use. Sort of, it's a fire and forget, as long as you keep the opponent, you know, within its view, within its cone of influence. See if it gets a free health off the burning driver. Nice. Which, the burning driver thing, the only indication you have that your health is going up is, I mean, obviously your health going up. And there's like a weird, like, chorus, like, hallelujah sound. You know, same as when you collect health. But there's no, like, on-screen indication like there is with most things. Like, there's an on-screen indication on the first map if you shoot down the airplane and it crushes somebody. You get a indicator called jet fatality, I believe. So there's the on-screen indication for that, but not for the health bonus you get for running over a flaming driver. So it tells me either A, they didn't want that to be known, or B, it was supposed to be scrubbed from the game, that maybe like the ESRB or Sony or someone was like, hey, that's a little bit too dark, let's not do that. Let's not have you get bonus points for running over flaming drivers. But I think as a gameplay feature, it's pretty creative. I think diegetically within the world of the game it makes sense, and I think it's interesting in that way. Because I think whenever a game can sort of mix in, you know, gamey features like health pickups, and they can mix it in organically within the world, I always think that's interesting. So when you can make your health pickups, a flaming driver because you destroyed a vehicle, not only is it just a reward for killing an enemy, but in addition to that, it makes sense within the world versus just like this random blue pickup on the ground. And the fact that there's both is good. And the fact there's a health bridge, health pickups, and flaming drivers, there's a lot of opportunity to get your health back, which I think most games don't do. If I remember correctly, I think every game has only one mode of picking up health, except 2012 obviously has a lot of them, but like TM1 just has the health bridges. TM2 just has health pickups, although there is two types. There's like one that does part of your health and one that does full health. I don't think there's any visual distinction between them, but there is a functional difference. And then Twisted Metal 3, I think, just has regular pickups and full health pickups, but they're still, at the end of the day, just pickups. And then, of course, 4 is the same, I believe. I could be wrong on all this stuff. I'm pretty sure, like, those games just have pickups, and that's it. Well, I want to finish this guy off before I die. Come on, there we go. That was very close. I had to get that shot off quick before he launched something, because anything would kill me. Right now, I'd be fucking toast. And now we approach the first boss battle, which I've come to be able to trivialize in some ways, because I think Minion expects you to run around and try to, dodge him and outrun him, but if you just kind of stay in one spot and shield and just kind of pepper him with mega guns, power missiles, and other like powerful but low accuracy shots, like he tends to not really know what to do. He sort of spins in place and presents to you all of his panels, including his back panel, his coveted back panel. He'll just show it right to you. Another example of this game's AI just sort of shitting itself. Because I think when they designed this game, they just expect you to run around like a madman. Just utter nonsense chaos constantly. But if you slow it down to a crawl, the game does not really know how to handle that. So all I do is I just collect some weapons, and part of this is collecting weapons to fight Minion, and part of it is for when I go to Prison Passage. It's good to have a full complement of missiles, gas cans, mega guns, everything. Like you're going to be stuck in a box with two opponents, and you want to have as much on your side as possible. There we go. So I think this should be enough. I don't want to pick up everything just in case, I end up not being able to kill Minion on the first life. But yeah, if I just kind of, the back panel, show it to me, please. I'm desperate. I need it. Need that back panel, boy. Give it to me. Yeah, that was not a good run. I got his front and his left panel, but the back and the right are still, they elude me. Yeah, the guns, like regular machine guns, tend to do the job pretty well. Yeah, shield destroyed. Or left, was it right panel destroyed? So what's left is back? No, just the right. Nice. I don't know if every panel has the same amount of health, but it seems like his back panel is a lot weaker than the other ones, which is good for gameplay balancing reasons if true, just because it's so difficult to get to. Okay, so now the mission is to collect as much weapons as possible. Because now that his shield is done, all you gotta do is kill him. And his health is not that substantial. Obviously he's a boss, so he has a lot more health than most standard enemies, but not to the point that it's extreme or annoying. So I think they just intended for his shield to be the hard part, and the rest of it's pretty easy. Although on hard difficulty, I don't know how that would go. But for me, the hardest boss in the series is probably Darktooth in TM2, or Trapper in Small Brawl. And I don't mean hard as in like the most difficult, but like I guess just if you had to sit there and shoot him with weapons, who would take the longest to kill? I'm pretty sure it's Trapper from Small Brawl, even though he's not that dangerous. I'm full up on those, so I think I can probably... So yeah, so if you just kind of stand still, I think, or what I should be doing is just inserting myself on his side, just latching myself to him. That was the better option. I think keeping my distance is a bad way to go, because yeah, if you're big enough or small enough, I mean, you can pretty much just hide underneath his flame hose. All Alright, I gotta do some self-preservation here because I'm doing very bad at this. Once again, I'm out of practice, so it's unlikely that I would do this whole game without restarting at least once, but boy howdy, am I gonna try. So I'm pretty good on health, but just how quickly he can dissolve your health with that flame hose, I really want to be careful. And then also I want to make sure I have enough weapons for a prison passage. I don't really care about homing missiles, but that seems to be the flavor of the day. That's all I can fucking find. I already got a skill-based pickup, got satellite, which I'm not thrilled about, but it's something. Okay, nice power pickup. Power missiles are kind of my best friends against Minion. Rico's. One thing I like about Twisted Metal Black is I don't think there's a limit to the amount of weapons you can hold, which I think is true for most games in this series. But I think, again, this game expects you to be aggressive, like hyper-aggressive, which means that you would exhaust your inventory just as fast as you pick it up. And so they're pretty much letting you go crazy. Alright, this should be enough to finish him. Just the mega guns, yes? No? Holy shit, holy shit. Wow, that was fast. Yeah, that's an example of how quickly he can kill you. I got a little bit complacent, thinking I can just switch to homing missiles and take him out, but yeah, that was rough. That was bad. Alright, let's be smart. Let's be smart. Let's just use mega guns, get a couple of homing missiles, powers. I want to pick up everything because I expect to die, so. Alright, there we go. And we'll wait for him to come to us, which I think he's stuck up there. Come on, get down here, coward. Down here. There you go. Way to go. Way to overcome your fear. Left panel destroyed. I don't know which one's left. I can't imagine it's... There we go. Got it. Yeah, that was a good run. Yeah, that was very good. I hope this doesn't kill him. Okay, good. Yeah, he's close to dead, so I don't mind taking a death right here. I guess I have enough health I can probably survive. Grab some weapons for prison passage. Yeah, so I went from getting a restart to damn near killing him in one life, so big swing. What a comeback. A comeback of the century. I already got mega guns. I got some homing missiles. If I get like another power, I'll feel pretty good about it. Some more health doesn't hurt. Yeah, fuck it. He's dead. And couldn't get to it. All right, on to prison passage. So I'm a terrorist, but something inside says there's so much more to the story. Which is such a cheesy thing to say. Like, that tells me the game is, like, really... Like, I mean, David Jaffe wrote these little dialogue boxes. It just... I don't know. I don't think he's that good of, like, a storyteller. At least not an elegant one. Where, like, you know, he's trying to build up this drama of, like... You know, the beginning is setting up the stakes. Like, okay, what do I want from this tournament? The middle is, like, the backstory, giving you, like, some context for it. And then you get to the ending, and it pays off the whole thing. Like... I feel like he didn't have enough to say for some of these characters for each like loading screen to have any sort of meaning to it. That was a really good prison passage, like beginning to it. That was fucking great. Let's go this way. I don't want to get hit by those guys. I'm very close to death. The good thing about this map is the secret health pickup is right here on cell block 9. So it's on the prison boat with you, which means you don't have to wait till you get to the main map to get the benefits of secret health, which is pretty good choice by the developers. Good shit. Yeah, so I don't think that David Jaffe had enough to say for some of these characters, and so he just had to sort of build the suspense of like, telling you there's more to the story if you just keep playing after you watch the middle cutscene. Like, obviously there's more to the story. Like, they get the whole point of that cutscene is to build the drama. You don't have to further it by having some dumb quip about, oh, so this is what I am? I wonder if there's more to the story. There's gotta be. No shit, dude. Like, just say you don't have anything to say. Or fucking, I don't know, like ask one of your interns to write something for you. It's gotta be better than that. Ah, got me. You got me. I'll take it. I had barely any weapons left, so it wasn't super critical for me to survive there. I expect to die at least one time on the prison boat, so that's not too crazy. And now I get to spend the next, I don't know, 10-15 seconds just roaming around, enjoying the sights. Move my camera back, see more of this map. This map is, I think, the most intricate map in all of Twisted Metal, like the entire series. Just because it opens up into sections as you play, and I don't think the map is... That's a terrible view, holy shit. I don't think the map is like that well designed as far as like playing on it, but I think as far as the amount of engineering and time and design that went into it, it's got to be among the top in the series, has to be. It's just too damn good. Okay, got him. I was like, well, worried that way. Fucking special would miss. Alright, yeah, I'm not gonna win a fucking chicken battle with this guy with machine guns. Let's heal up. Let's get on the bridge. The bridge has the best weapons and gives me more access to the boat, which has a secret health pickup, so I think it's imperative to success that I take this bridge down. Okay, I was hoping that Rico would bounce off the fence, but I guess it went through because it was, you know, like an object that animates. Alright, outlaw. Holy fuck, what was that? That, like, deleted my health. Holy shit. Okay, assuming he doesn't do anything crazy, I can probably take him out here. Nice. Alright, let's go back to the health. Ah, I didn't have any shield. I knew they were going to do something, but I was hoping I could last long enough, but that's okay. Just means we have to be very careful in this last section. Got 3 opponents left, and I have to be very, very careful. I think it was a great choice for Twisted Metal Black to go to the 2 lives per level system versus in the other games like Twisted Metal 1 through 4 where you have the same health pool, the same life pool throughout the game. Because I think you might start the game out and you might feel good about it because the difficulty doesn't ramp up right away. You might not use your health or your lives right at the beginning, but as the levels start to stack up and they get harder, you make more mistakes. You end up on like the 5th or 6th level with no lives left, and it just changes the dynamic of how you approach the game. Whereas in Twisted Metal Black, because you get new lives every level, it encourages you to maintain that aggression throughout the game, which I think brings up the intensity, it brings up the fun. Just a great choice, especially for how brutal this game can be. If you had to keep the same lives through the whole game, like it just wouldn't be fun anymore. You'd have to play in such a way of either just you have to play basically perfectly throughout the entire game to not lose all your lives. So I think it's a good balance to make the aggression and intensity and frenetic nature of the game sort of work in its favor. Because it lets you make more mistakes, which this kind of game needs you to be able to do. Like, Twisted Metal without mistakes is just impossible. It's gonna happen. And the secret health here is, I believe it's on this building somewhere. I can never remember where. I feel like maybe it's like in the front by the garage. By this, like, cargo door. But I'm kind of getting swarmed. I think someone just fell off the map, which is pretty sick. Yeah. Yeah, Crazy 8 just woofed. Just poor guy. I think I just fell off the map. I didn't know... I think Darkside was, like, straddling the edge of the map. I thought there was, like, an overhang, some sort of cliff down there. But no, they were just sitting on the edge. So I was hoping to go down there and, like, bump them off, but they baited me. They knew I'm an idiot, and they used that against me. These fucking monsters. Too smart for their own good. Now, my cheese strat for this level relies on me getting a bunch of gas cans, and then sitting on an actual overhang, and convincing the enemies to come at me one by one, and then I send them to their eternal death. Which I will demonstrate right now if I can get down there. I always forget where the fuck it is. I think it's right here. But I always make this mistake. I think it is down here because it seems to slope pretty evenly. There we go. Yeah, especially when it's been a while, I just sometimes forget where the fuck it is. Alright, I don't want to waste any of these gas cans on Warhawk just because they're so close to dead. Okay, I think he just fell off on his own. But normally the gas can would be the thing that bounces them. Because the thing about gas cans is it almost resets their momentum and just bumps them like a double jump into the air. And in this case, it makes them overshoot and fall into the bottomless pit. It's the most reliable way that I know of doing that. I was hoping I could convince Warhawk to just blow up in the air versus be wasting a gas can. But I don't think it's going to be possible. There we go. Multiple hits. They usually don't get that aggressive. That's pretty impressive. Normally they come one by one, but in this case they actually went together as a team, holding hands into the void. Okay, I think I can probably finish him off. There we go. Good shit. Yeah, I think it's right here. I thought it was on this side of the building, but I guess not. Coming up on the penultimate mission now. This is the one map that we have yet to find the secret health on, and I think most of us are pretty convinced that it just does not exist for some reason. It is removed, or maybe it's inaccessible or something. It's not something that a player can get to as far as anyone can tell, which is pretty disappointing because every other level has one, so it's just very strange that this one does not. But, I mean, if anyone knows where it is or wants to try, by all means. Just go around and start jumping on shit. That's all you have to do. You just have to sit in one spot and jump, and if it's the right spot, then you get the health bonus, and if it's not, then you just look like an idiot. Alright, we got one guy dead. Outlaw is toast. Alright, and you do not want to play with that wrecking ball. Like, no matter how good you think you are, you really have to be careful, because it will take you out. I was hoping I could freeze him while he was in the vicinity of that wrecking ball. That was not the case. Okay, come on. Let me get on the health bridge. Don't blow me up, please. Alright, thank you, Axel. I could probably take him out with... Yeah, that's pretty simple. I like that. Good shit, good shit. And Mr. Sweet Tooth, or someone feel the wrath of my Roadkill. Yeah, one thing about Roadkill is special. I think if the target is moving perpendicular to you, which is to say, like, you know, if you're facing one direction, they're facing 90 degrees the opposite direction, they don't tend to, like, your special doesn't tend to track them very well. So they kind of need to be facing either towards you or running away from you to get the most effect from it. Alright, Sweet Tooth. Which I think here should be a pretty good opportunity. Because it tends to follow the environment pretty well, as it fucking blows up into a row of chairs in an airplane. Come on, thank you. Ooh, did he fall off into the void? I think so. No. I guess I thought there was a gap between this level and... Yeah, there is. I guess he fell in the one spot that you're actually allowed to fall onto. Pretty impressive. What knowledge of the map. I don't want to waste my special on him, but fuck it. It's Sweet Tooth. Get him out of here. Just kick him off the map. Boot him back to the lobby. Back onto the battle bus, boy. See you later. And I'm out of weapons. Great. Good shit. Should be a gas can. Fire. I think Grim should be low, or maybe that was last level. I don't know. All these enemies are blending together. Now, one thing playing on the... So, if people don't know, the Harbor City beta build, or like the latest build of Harbor City, the canceled sequel to Twisted Metal Black, somehow, you know, the people who have access to it were able to make it work on a regular emulator, you know, PCSX2, where normally it would only work on a dev kit, but now that it can work on a regular-ass emulator, it gives a lot more people access to it to go explore it and see what could have been. And, jeez, Crazy 8 is aggressive as fuck. I mean, it's a Pyrrhic victory. I still got 2 lives, he only has 1, so you tell me who won that battle. But one thing that's cool about Harbor City is each level is connected, and so the tournament mode, as far as I understand it, and what I've seen in the game, is that you would complete, you know, one battle, you would kill like, you know, 5 or 6 opponents, and then you would be able to drive like yourself directly to the next level, to the next arena, because they all share. Ooh, that was close. Because they all share the world. They're just connected by these like highway tunnels almost. Sometimes it's like a sewer pipe, sometimes it's like an actual like tunnel, highway tunnel, but they're all connected in that really cool way. And it did bring like a level of immersion to it, until you would face the same opponent like 4 or 5 times. You know, even on the same map, like you'd fight Spectre, and then another Spectre will just come in after you kill it. Because the idea is just to kill, you know, such and such opponents, like kill 5 opponents. And I think it just randomly selects out of a pool. And so you might end up killing like 3 Mr. Grimms and 2 Spectres and so on. And so I think the immersion's cool because, you know, when you think of Twisted Metal taking place in the same night, you know, it does make sense. You finish a battle, okay, gotta go to the next site and do it all again. And, you know, in a real Twisted Metal battle, you wouldn't fight the same car 6 times in a row because you would have killed them when they're dead. Now, that is sort of prohibitively difficult to develop because that means to have a true-to-life Twisted Metal, you would need to have either A, you would blow up a car, but they could repair it instantly, which is unrealistic, or there would have to be like 40 contestants, each with their own backstory and motivations and vehicles and special weapons and balancing and all that shit, which just is not really feasible for a video game. I mean, I guess it is, but for something that has a budget like Twisted Metal, which is to say not very much, it's not AAA, it seems difficult. And I guess their way around it was to say, fuck it, who cares? I don't care, just fight 6 Spectres. Why not? Alright, on to Warhawk, my least favorite boss in the entire series. I would say it's either Warhawk or Sweet Tooth's Carnival of Carnage. One of the two, they're both terrible. I hate them completely. But the conceit of it is you have to blow up these fucking tankers. And the safest way okay, that was a bad move. The safest way is just to sit in the middle and let the tankers come to you. Warhawk, for the most part, can't attack you if you're in the center. And if he does, it's not his most powerful attack. And you have to blow up 3 tankers close enough to him that it damages his shield and eventually destroys it, where you can do damage with your conventional weapons. So that's 2 tankers down. Hooray. Haven't died yet, so that's a good sign. Yeah, there we go. Figures. I don't expect to get through this deathless. I think some people can, but I'm in no fucking mood. And I'm pretty sure this guy picked up a health pickup, which is pretty annoying. There we go. So gotta wait for Warhawk to come back to the center. And I will detonate his trusty companion, the tanker. Okay, so Roadkill special does do a good job of tracking, which is nice, because not every special can reliably hit Warhawk, which makes it probably that's what makes it the most frustrating to me, is that there are many, many specials that just refuse to make contact with Warhawk or track. Like, for instance, you know, I want to hit the big hostile helicopter in the sky, but instead my fire missile just shot down the support helicopter that had a health. Why would I want it to do that? Why would I ever choose that to be the case? I should be able to finish him off here pretty quick if I just get my special back. Just gotta survive long enough. Do some circles and some donuts. Look at that. Nice. Good shit. Look at those blocky wheels turn. So much fun. What a good game. And there you go. There's Twisted Metal Black defeated. Ripped down to its studs, to its nuts and bolts. Cowards.
I won the contest.
And John Doe lived happily ever after. Anyways, thanks for joining me on this little playthrough of Twisted Metal Black. It's been a very long time since I played it, and it's just fun to kind of do a quick, casual playthrough, talk to you guys a little bit, and have some fun. So thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like and subscribe, all the good YouTube stuff, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.